MAVAKAGA.
Welcome back, Deep Divers. Today we're taking a trip behind the scenes, behind the glitter and the glam of Dancing with the Stars fandom.
Ooh, fandom deep dive.
We are.
Well,
And specifically, we're going to be looking at a Reddit live discussion thread
Okay.
for, well, would you believe it, the 500th episode.
Wow, that's
Season 33, Episode 7.
a lot of dancing.
It is 500 episodes.
Yeah.
Talk about a milestone.
I know. I think what's so cool about this is we're not just looking at the dances themselves. Like, we're really going to get into the minds of the people watching
Right.
in real time.
Like we're getting like the authentic
Yeah.
fan experience
Like right there, right then.
as it's happening.
It's like we're at a watch party.
Yes, the best watch party ever.
I love it.
And this episode, I mean, it had it all. So there were like iconic solo dances inspired by routines from the past.
Ooh.
And then on top of that, they had this high-pressure instant dance challenge.
Ooh, always a fan favorite.
Always a fan favorite. Now, the thread that we're looking at focuses mostly on Chandler Kinney and Brandon Armstrong.
Okay.
They did an Argentine tango for their solo round,
Okay.
but then they had to, pull a cha-cha out of their hat for the instant dance.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean, it looks like from this thread, it looks like everybody was just really here for that instant dance.
Yeah.
There's not a ton of discussion about the solo round,
Interesting.
which I think is interesting. It's just like when there's that unpredictable element, people are really tuned in. They
Yes.
want to see what happens.
That's the element of surprise. Keeps everybody on the edge of their seats.
Exactly.
So for those who haven't seen the episode, look at the instant dance challenge. This is where the couples, they get a random song, a random dance style,
Right.
and very, very little time to prepare.
Yes. High pressure.
High pressure situation. So in this case, it was a cha-cha to a cover of Symphony by Clean Bandit.
And speaking of symphony, I noticed that the song itself, there was quite a conversation going on online about it.
Really?
Yeah, which I think kind of goes to show you, even within a shared fandom, right?
Uh-huh.
There are these differences in taste.
Totally. I mean, music is subjective, right?
It is.
What one person loves, another
Usually-
person's like,
Yes.
no, thank you.
So I saw everything from, people calling it iconic high energy
Huh?
to atrocious and robotic.
Wow, so all over the place.
Yeah.
Quite the mixed bag.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, but before we fall too far down that rabbit hole of the music,
Right.
let's talk about the dance itself.
Yeah.
Because people were absolutely blown away
Yeah, they were.
by Chandler's performance.
It's interesting. A lot of the commenters had already predicted that she would do really well in this challenge.
Oh, really?
Like going into it. Yeah, and then when she did, it just seemed to confirm their expectations.
So it's almost like they went in wanting her to succeed.
Yes.
And so then when she did, it was like,
Yes.
see, we knew it all along.
Exactly. And it wasn't just the, the super fans, even people who were saying they were kind of like, oh, the instant dances have been blah up to this point.
Yeah.
As soon as Chandler starts dancing, it's all yes, yes, yes in the thread.
Wow, a complete shift.
A complete shift. So it really felt like, she has that stage presence. She has that it factor.
Yeah.
And it just draws people in.
And the comments back that up, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, she ate that,
Give her tens.
honestly. Give her 10s for that.
Like lots of caps.
Lots of caps.
Lots of exclamation points.
I mean, that's not just like she did a good job.
Right.
They're feeling it
Are feeling it.
on like a visceral level.
Exactly. And, speaking of things that were kind of special, we got to talk about the background visuals. I mean, this was the 500th episode.
Oh, yeah.
So they really went all out.
They did.
At a production.
They went big. And you know what? Those visuals,
Yeah.
they kind of became their own
I know.
internet sensation.
How did?
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
We're talking about like the dancing dolphins
Yeah.
that some people thought they looked like hippos.
Yes.
Or even like that Mudang manatee.
Mood.
For those who don't know, that was like this adorable manatee video that was making the rounds.
Yes, I remember.
So you know what I think that is? I think that's really interesting because it shows you the humor.
Yeah.
Like they're taking these visuals and they're like, yeah, but what if it was this?
Exactly. And I think we should never overlook that aspect of fandom.
Yeah.
That playfulness, that ability to kind of find the funny,
Yeah.
even in unexpected places. And it really shines through in a lot of the comments.
Oh, yeah. So somebody was saying like Brandon should have incorporated the TikTok dance for Symphony into the routine.
Oh, can you imagine? That would have been amazing.
Oh, that would have been epic.
A little nod to the viral trend.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yes.
And then there was this gem the background was giving Lisa Frank, which I feel like low-key goes with the brat aesthetic.
Ooh, I love that.
It's the kind of witty commentary that just makes these live threads so good.
It's like they're all creating this like shared viewing experience, even though they're all watching from different places. They're all riffing off of each other, building jokes. It's really cool.
It's a beautiful thing. It is.
Yeah.
It is. But before we get too lost in the humor,
Right.
let's not forget there's a serious competition going on here.
There is.
And from what I'm seeing in these comments,
Yes.
Chandler and Brandon are ones to watch.
For sure. For sure. The question is, can they keep this momentum going?
Right.
Can they take this early, online enthusiasm and turn it into a mirror ball win?
That is the million-dollar question. And we're going to have to keep digging into this thread.
Okay.
See if we can find any clues.
Yes, we will.
But let's take a quick pause first to gather our thoughts. Be back in a flash to dive even deeper into the world of DWTS fandom.
Sounds good.
Don't go anywhere. All right, so we're back, and we're ready to, really get down to business with this DWTS deep dive.
Let's do it.
But there's this one detail, right? Before the break, we were talking about all this online buzz surrounding Chandler and Brandon's performance.
Right.
But we didn't talk about how Brandon mentioned he had a strategy going into the instant dance.
Yeah, and that definitely got people talking. Is there a way to hack the instant dance?
Right. Is that even possible?
Right.
I mean, they're getting a random song and dance style with barely any time to prepare. What kind of strategy even works in a situation like that?
That's the question, right? So some people think that he's figured it out, he's got the secret formula.
Uh-huh.
Other people think it's more about just instinct and being able to adapt on the fly.
Okay, so then is it even about steps and choreography?
Yeah.
Or is it more about a mental approach?
Yeah, maybe it's more having a framework or a set of tools, that you can pull from.
Okay.
Rather than trying to come up with a full routine in 5 minutes.
Yeah, because that's not happening.
No. So maybe it's more about quickly analyzing the music, figuring out the key elements of that dance style.
Okay.
And then using your strengths to just create something really impactful in a short amount of time.
That's interesting.
And if that's true,
Yeah.
that really speaks to his skill as a choreographer.
Right.
It's not just talent, it's strategic thinking.
So he's got a method to the madness.
Maybe.
Okay, well that's giving you a whole new appreciation for the instant dance challenge.
Huh.
But putting strategy aside,
Right.
there's no denying that their performance, it really hit people
Oh, yeah.
where it mattered.
Deeply.
Emotionally.
An emotional level.
Yeah, they connected.
I mean, remember that comment. If Chandler goes home, I'm closing the department door for education.
Oh yeah.
That's not just funny. It's that's real investment.
Right. It's they're living the whole journey with them.
It is. It's every high and every low. It's they're feeling it themselves.
And that's the power of dance.
Right.
Right. It's storytelling.
It is.
Without words.
Yes. It's a universal language. You don't need to speak the same language to understand.
To feel it.
To feel it.
To connect. And that brings us to, I think, why the song choice is such a big deal for people.
Yeah.
Because if the music doesn't hit you,
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to connect with the dance.
Absolutely. It's the foundation. And, with the symphony cover, it was definitely polarizing.
It was.
Some people, they loved it. Uplifting, high energy.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had others who thought it was, jarring, didn't fit the cha-cha.
So not everybody was on board.
Not everybody was on board.
But you know what? That's okay. Because I think that's what makes these live threads so fascinating. You get to see all these different reactions all at once.
The full spectrum.
Right. From oh my God, amazing.
Tap and outrage.
Yeah, I can't even...
Exactly. And I think it's kind of a microcosm of society itself,
Ooh, I like that.
We have all these different viewpoints.
Yeah, we all have our own way of seeing things.
Absolutely. We're all coming at it from our own experiences and our own biases.
Our own tastes, our own baggage.
Exactly. And I think that's part of what makes these conversations so interesting, because when we bring all of those perspectives together, we end up with a richer understanding of the art, of the impact.
Okay, I'm digging this. I am digging this. So we talked about emotions.
Yes.
We talked about opinion.
Yes.
But we can't forget about the humor.
Oh, the humor. Right.
The comments.
The memes.
The little observations.
Yes.
They add so much joy to the whole thing. They really do.
And it just builds this sense of community.
Like when they're all riffing on the Lisa Frank vibes.
Lisa Frank. I know, I instantly thought back to childhood.
Yes.
Like, I was right back there with the Trapper Keepers and the folders and the dolphins.
And the stickers.
The stickers.
Oh, yeah.
All the glitter.
And the hippo dolphins.
The hippo dolphins. Come on, that's a meme waiting to happen.
It is. It is.
Right, and it shows you that the fans, they're not just watching. They're, like, actively creating the narrative.
No, I'm adding to.
They're adding their own layer of funny.
And their own interpretation.
Yes, their own interpretation. And I think that's what makes these deep dives so great, because we're not just analyzing the dances themselves.
Yeah.
We're looking at the whole cultural phenomenon around it.
Yes, we're getting into the minds of the fandom.
Exactly. It's like we're tapping into the collective consciousness of the fandom.
And seeing how they're shaping the conversation.
Exactly. Exactly. And it brings us to a really important point about the relationship between fans and the creators.
Ooh. Tell me more.
Because now, with these platforms like Reddit,
right,
fans have a direct line of communication that they never had before. They can share their thoughts, their critiques.
Their hopes, their dreams.
Their hopes, their dreams, everything.
All in real time.
All in real time. So it's like this massive focus group
Yeah.
that's giving constant feedback.
So it's like they can actually influence the direction of the show.
Potentially, yes. I mean, think about the power of that.
Right.
And it really makes you wonder, are the producers paying attention?
Yeah. Are they listening?
Are they listening to the fans?
Taking notes.
Taking notes, right. Are they looking to see what works and what doesn't work?
Yeah, that's a question for the ages.
Hmm.
And one that we might have to explore a little bit more.
Yeah.
As we continue our deep dive.
We will.
But for now, let's take a quick pause. Refresh our memories. And then get ready for the final leg of our journey.
Sounds good.
We'll be back in a moment with some final thoughts.
All right.
And a question to leave you pondering.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. All right, deep divers, we are back.
We made it.
For the grand finale.
Their final act.
Of our DWTS adventure.
I feel like we've been through a lot together, haven't we?
We have. We've seen it all. We've laughed.
Yes.
At the hippo dolphin.
The hippo dolphins.
We've
analyzed
the symphony debate.
We got deep, right? And we've even pondered the mystery of Brandon's instant dance strategy.
The man is a mystery.
I mean, at this point, I feel like we've basically earned honorary mirror ball trophies.
For fandom analysis.
For fandom analysis, yes.
I'll take it.
But before we take our victory lap, let's just take a minute and like recap some of the key takeaways, right?
Yes, let's do it.
From this Reddit deep dive.
Okay.
First of all, just the amount of comments.
The sheer volume.
The passion.
The intensity.
The intensity.
Behind the reactions to Chandler and Brandon's performance.
Like, it tells us they have really struck a chord with viewers.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't just like, good job, kids. It was like,
people felt it.
They were invested. Yeah. They were like, we are here for this.
They've been adopted by the fandom.
It's like they've adopted them as their DWTS children.
Yes.
And they are like fiercely protective of their journey.
I love that analogy. That's exactly right.
It is. It is. And so that tells us how powerful dance is, right?
Yes.
In creating that connection.
Between performer and audience.
Between performer and audience.
So powerful.
We also saw like how that instant dance challenge.
Oh, yeah.
You know, with its unpredictability, it makes for such
a unique experience.
A unique experience.
It's like a live experiment.
Yes.
And we're seeing in real time how these dancers adapt.
Yeah.
Right, they're put to the test.
They are. And we, the viewers, we get to ride that wave of excitement, of uncertainty right along with them.
And it makes it so much more
compelling.
Compelling, yes. Now, remember how we were talking about the expectation?
Oh, yes.
How people kind of predicted.
Going into it.
Yeah, that Chandler was going to kill it.
Yes.
In the instant dance.
Totally.
And then she did.
And it was like, see, we told you.
Yeah, we knew it all along. But it makes you wonder.
Yes.
Like, how much do our preconceived notions shape what we see and how we experience things?
Because are we more likely to see what we expect?
Ooh, that's a deep question.
Right. And especially in a competition like this, where there's so much subjectivity.
Right. Because even in dance.
Yeah.
Which you think would be,
Right. Like you can see the steps.
Yeah.
You can see the technique.
Yeah.
But there's still that element of
personal taste.
Personal taste.
Yeah.
and preference.
You can't escape it.
No, you can't.
But that's part of the fun.
Exactly. And that's why these discussions are so interesting, because we're all bringing our own baggage to the table.
All of it.
All of it. We're unpacking it together.
And we're having a good time doing it.
Exactly. We're having fun.
We are. And speaking of fun.
Oh, yes.
We can't forget the humor.
The humor.
That ties the whole fandom together.
It's the glue. It is.
It's the glitter.
It's the glitter. It's the glue. It's like,
It brings the sparkle.
It brings the sparkle, yes.
And you know those funny comments?
Yes.
Those memes, the observations, it adds a layer
of enjoyment.
And it creates community.
It's like we're all in on this joke together.
Exactly.
We're sharing this laugh together.
Yes.
And we're all bonding over our love of this show.
And it's a reminder that, fandom isn't just this, serious analysis.
Right. And debate.
It's about having fun.
It's about letting loose.
Embracing the silly.
And connecting with others who get it.
Who get you. Okay, so, big picture time.
All right, hit me.
Okay, we've analyzed the dances.
We did it.
Dissected the comments. We really got in there.
We're experts now.
We've basically become, honorary DWTS experts.
I think so.
But here's the question.
Okay.
That I have for you.
I'm ready.
What does all of this tell us about the future of Dancing with the Stars?
That's a good question.
Is it evolving?
Is it evolving? Is it keeping up with the times?
With what viewers want?
With what fans are saying online.
Are the producers listening?
Are they taking notes?
Taking notes? Yeah. Are they going to, incorporate that feedback?
It's this back and forth between the fans and the show.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. It really makes you think, where is this all going?
And how is it going to shape the future of DWTS?
I don't know, but I can't wait to find out.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
And on that note, Deep Divers.
Yeah.
It's been an amazing journey.
It has.
This season of Dancing with the Stars has given us so much to talk about.
It really has.
And thanks to this Reddit live thread, we got this, inside scoop.
That's right.
On the fandom and all the passion and all the humor and...
The insights.
The insights, yeah.
That make it so special.
It's been wild. It has been a wild ride. But sadly, all good things must come to an end. So if you enjoyed this deep dive into the heart of DWTS fandom, you know what to do. Hit that thumbs up button.
Yes.
And consider subscribing to the channel for more deep dives into all your favorite fandoms. We'll see you next time.